Ripple Swell's first day is over. When you gather some of the largest financial institutions and names in one location, I've compiled some of the most astounding greatest clips I could locate. There will be a lot of alpha for you. I aim to blow your mind as we go over each of these clips one at a time. I hope this is the greatest video you've watched today. Let's get it. The XRP ledger, which is essentially financial railroads, is the best method to conceptualize XRP. Think about it as a competition to the financial system. All right, to Wall Street. Global payments will be fueled by the ecosystem and the railroads. By the way, I was an emerging market bond manager for many years before I became interested in cryptocurrency. The quantity of remittances that return to particular nations is one of the things I've observed while trading bonds and researching sovereign nations. Some nations are enormous. The fees and charges that people pay between 8 and 15% on top of traveling abroad, working hard, and sending money home to their families. Really the way to think about XRP. Okay, so we know that XRP and Ripple have found a solution to the remittance issue, enabling the use of the XRP ledger to transmit money around the globe for pennies on the dollar. Payments will be like that in the future. This is a fantastic video. Everyone should be incredibly excited about this. Let's get started. Mr. H. Horsley is the CEO of Bitwise Invest. I'll just guess and follow him. Let's play this. Everyone ought to be quite thrilled. You know, the cryptocurrency ecosystem is perhaps 15 years old now that XRPL and XRP are over 13. It's all occurring now. In 2025, this area will become widely used for the first time. There are amazing institutions here at Swell that are integrating and developing services, but they are mainstream by definition because they are also doing other things. This is part of being mainstream. Accordingly, a month is extremely quick for them, and a quarter is quick. And so I think in the crypto sector, the timescales that people are used with are just getting pushed out. As a result, there's a little bit of relearning how to read the news flow, but I can state with certainty that we've been in business for 7 or 8 years. The arrival of cryptocurrency this year to modernize the financial system and become a common asset class feels more inevitable than I have ever seen it. Crypto will be its own asset class and is coming to modernize the financial system. Come on. Max Stein from BlackRock is shown here. He was on the panel earlier today. I can't recall her name, but she's from Robinhood and we saw him on the right. She is seated next to a man from Booties. Let's play this clip, and the interviewer from CoinDesk is obviously the one on the far left. Do you know who currently holds traditional securities? The market will emerge if you remove the distinction that they are tokenized, but first we must demonstrate the usefulness. I believe there are 2 distinct user segments that will be the first to adopt this, and we need the market momentum to demonstrate the usefulness in order to eventually attract the larger players. Thus, they are genuinely looking for clarification on regulations. They may operate within the rules if they are clear about the regulations, know the laws, and recognize that the investment protection rules are there as a sort of North Star. Additionally, I believe that they are all demonstrating a great deal of interest in becoming more involved in the ecosystem of digital assets. Evidently, they have already put a lot of effort into tokenizing bonds and fixed income. Make coins that are stable. In fact, there is a lot of action going on within the banks themselves to become involved with the ecosystem. But I think to get them fully active in the markets, there has to be regulatory clarity. Clarity in regulations is essential, and we are waiting for that. Here's also an excellent clip. Is Monica Long conducting an interview with Nasdaq's Adina Friedman? Discusses stable currencies, but I believe that more needs to be done to clarify regulations. What then would have to happen in order for that vision to become a reality? Well, we are quite happy to see that the administration is taking a really comprehensive approach to it. In addition to the SEC and CFTC working together, the legislative branches are concentrating on establishing appropriate regulatory barriers surrounding stablecoin and the markets. And I've been at Nasdaq. Well, I started at Nasdaq 32 years ago. Whoa! I've never seen the SEC and the CFTC operate as well together as they're witnessing right now. I adore that. Indeed it is. Be extremely grateful for that moment as asset classes are convergent. There is a convergence of retail and institutions exhibiting interest in trading all these asset classes. However, the regulatory landscape for securities and derivatives is significantly different. Therefore, how can the regulatory system that applies to all asset classes, including cryptocurrency, be made more convergent? Furthermore, how can we encourage innovation? While maintaining management and paying close attention to the North Star, investor protection. That's the one thing that we kind of drumbeat all the time down in Washington, I believe. More investors. Bettering the investment experience while simultaneously offering appropriate investor protections is the goal here. Therefore, modernizing the infrastructure while safeguarding investors is the framework on which we primarily concentrate. Okay, so I thoroughly examined the entire interview. YouTube has it live already. Go to my YouTube channel and watch the video if you're interested in hearing the entire interview and my back and forth in my opinion. David L. Ripley is shown here using stablecoins. After he and Jack McDonald discussed stablecoins and Kraken, CoinDesk interviewed him here. He serves as Kraken's co-CEO. Play this. Simply put, stable currencies are a far better form of payment. Significantly better than anything found in conventional financial services. Naturally, we used to wonder how we were going to get stable currency like Bitcoin to be accepted as payment methods. There is a significant catch-22 where two must be present for them to be used by payments. You must create a network since it requires a transmitter and a receiver. The issue is that it just won't happen for everyone to adopt stable coins or Bitcoin at the same time to use for payments. However, we observed that a large number of people adopted Bitcoin for various reasons. The major one, the inflation hedge, the investment in future profits, the network's adoption, etc. This made stablecoins and Bitcoin accessible to a large number of individuals. As a sort of settlement money for all centralized and decentralized exchanges, stablecoins eventually emerged. We are aware of how crucial stablecoins will be to the financial system's further development. The U.S. Treasurer has already stated that he thinks the stablecoin market will grow by trillions of dollars in the coming years. Furthermore, we are aware that financial institutions are searching for applications that will allow them to instantly transfer wealth for pennies. One of the best ways to achieve so will be with stable currency. The true challenge would be that each of these many financial institutions will want to have its own infrastructure or stablecoin. They are having trouble figuring out how to connect all of it, and XRP may be really important in this situation. Guys, please hit like, comment, and show your support if you enjoy the content. Since 5 in the morning, I have spent the last 8 hours creating content. I'm doing everything I can to get it to you as fast as possible. I also hope you're developing and learning. For me, that is what matters most. Ryan Rugg is this person. She works for Citibank. She oversees the creation and development of Citibank's digital assets. Hear what they have planned for the future. She is actually a three-pronged partner. Additionally, if you consider the build, we have been developing what is known as the Citi Token Service for the past 2 years. And in the past year, we have truly begun to scale. In the next one, I'll see you. Calm.